sun dipped below the horizon, casting skeletal shadows across the quiet neighborhood of Maplewood Drive. In a modest home with peeling blue paint, the Reynolds family sat huddled around a flickering television, the silence palpable, the echo of a barking dog painfully absent. A year had passed since Charlie, their beloved golden retriever, had vanished. The family had endured the aching void, memories of his joyful howls haunting their days and restless nights. That evening, as the clock struck 10, the wind howled with an unsettling ferocity, rattling the window panes. Suddenly, they heard a familiar scrabbling at the back door. Hope ignited in Loretta Reynolds' heart. She raced to the door, her family hot on her heels. With trembling hands, she flung it open, revealing the silhouette of a dog against the slate blue night. Charlie! The name slipped from her lips like an incantation. But as the creature stepped into the light, the air thickened. The dog looked like Charlie, his shimmering fur still golden, his eyes bright. But there was something amiss. Those eyes, once warm and playful, gleamed with an unsettling malice. They shone bright red in the dim porch light, and a low growl emanated from deep within him, vibrating the air like an ominous warning. "Charlie," whispered little Sam, clutching his mother's leg, his voice barely audible. The dog moved closer, his gait strangely unnatural, limbs stiff and jerky. The family stood frozen, half inclined to embrace the familiar presence, half horrified by the sheer strangeness emanating from him. "Come on, boy," Paul Reynolds shouted, stepping forward, his paternal instincts battling his growing unease. Instantly, to the horror of all, Charlie lunged, baring teeth that appeared sharper than any ordinary dog's, glistening in the night like a predator starved for blood. "Get back," Loretta screamed, pulling Sam behind her. But Charlie halted as if a tether had been suddenly yanked. He cocked his head, and the growl morphed like a whisper, taunting, sinister. "We thought we lost you," she whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. But the warmth faded as she spotted something gleaming around Charlie's collar. A twisted pendant, pulsing faintly as if it had absorbed the very darkness of his absence. Charlie finally succumbed to the lure of the family's bewildered affection, edging closer, but the sinister gleam in his eyes nagged at Loretta's mind. She crouched, pretending to coax him, struggling to suppress her fears, while secretly searching for any familiar sign. The dog dropped his head into her hands, and for a moment, there was a flicker of recognition. He was Charlie, wasn't he? But just as quickly, the darkness returned, and his gaze lashed with a dreadful hunger. "Let him in," Paul urged, breaking Loretta's trance. "He's home. He'll be fine." Against her better judgment, she stepped aside, allowing Charlie access. The air thickened with an inexplicable tension, wrapping around them like a shroud. The family settled into a strained normalcy, attempting to forget the unsettling bite of reality. Over the following days, however, the changes in Charlie became more apparent. He refused to eat, growling at any offered food, as if it sickened him. In the dead of night, strange noises echoed through the halls. Sam claimed to hear whispers, soft and repetitive, lulling him into anxious dreams. Outside, the neighborhood pets began to disappear one by one, an eerie twilight enveloping Maplewood Drive. But the Reynolds family clung to the idea that Charlie was their faithful friend, returned from a lost realm. Loretta awoke one night to an eerie sound, a clatter like bones scraping against the wooden floor. She tiptoed down the hallway, drawn by a compulsion she couldn't explain. In the living room, she found Charlie, his back to her, pawing over something in the shadows. As she edged closer, she froze in horror. He stood over a small mound of earth, fresh dirt scattered around him, and lying at its heart was the discarded collar of Missy, the neighbor's vanished poodle. She had been gone for weeks. Loretta's breath caught, her heart pounding as questions spiraled like a whirlwind. "Charlie, what are you doing?" she demanded, forcing her voice to remain steady. The dog turned slowly, his eyes aflame with an otherworldly glow. He tilted his head, revealing blood-stained teeth, a grotesque parody of a friendly grin. He lunged forward, and in that moment, something in Loretta shattered. She recoiled, stumbling back, the weight of sheer dread surrounding her. The growl that escaped his throat vibrated with primal energy, a cacophony warning of the storm that existed within. "Run!" she screamed, hurling herself away from the demonic entity that had taken her dog. Paul and Sam surged toward her, but the beast followed, relentless and eager, losing all semblance of the playful pet they once knew. They fled into the night, but Charlie was faster, something unnatural propelling him forward. The clash of bared teeth and desperate screams mingled with the haunting rustle of the trees, an echo reverberating through the graying light of dawn. In the end, the Reynolds family stood at their threshold, the comforting blue paint now peeling into oblivion, watching as their beloved Charlie vanished once more, leaving behind the chilling knowledge that in the shadows he had changed not just his fate, but the very essence of their home.